Blowing may the poisons all my world. Still to whisper me pearl. Cause you live.
As you can see, there's a gravelly area here. This used to be just grass and mud only a few years ago. They've made some improvements. There's all kinds of tables and chairs out here when the cafe is in full swing. There's a commemorative bench there. I like filming first thing in the morning because you get some really long shadows and everything just looks different. Look how beautiful that old cottage is next to the cafe. Now here we've got the Forge Dam weir that looking a little bit sorry for itself, and there's not much happening because, as I showed you the other day, Forge Dam itself is very, very dry at the moment. Now I've seen this place, particularly in the wintertime, when there's torrents of water coming down here. But this is the original weir. Some kind of overflow system there next to the weir, I think. So, as you can see, the eastern end of Forge Dam, no water at all to flow over the top of the weir. It's completely dry at this point. what's flowing through the weir down there then is obviously through some kind of overflow, or maybe it's just leaking. Back in the late 70s, I used to take rowing boats out, because where I'm standing here, there were rowing boats that you could hire and take out. It was very popular as a boating lake throughout the 60s, 50s, 60s, pretty much until I think somewhere around 1978, 1979 time. The boats all disappeared because basically the dam was silting up. This big island was starting to form in the middle. The dam was getting too shallow for boats, so they just took the boats out rather than dredge the dam and restore it. They did a shortcut. But all the Forge Dam ducks are still here. Normally the water would be pretty close to where the dam wall is, so it's down about 1.5 meters. There is some work going on around here. They're continuing to dredge the dam and sort out the silt problems, but as yet it's a long way from being as it was. So like the Rivlin Valley Trail, there's lots of renovation and maintenance needed to keep this in its best condition. Now I have contacted the cafe to try and get permission to get into their backyard area so I can see more of the wheel pit. You can't really see much, but the dam would have flown down here through the Pentrough and it would have driven Whiteley Wood Mill water wheel would have been down there. But at least the wheel pit is still there. Now we can see it more. Let's get out to the sun a bit. Yeah, you can see the wheel pit there with part of the building. That is a deep wheel pit. You know, there's a few wheel pits remaining on the Rivlin Valley Trail and most of them are just full of rubble now. But this one, wow. So just there, that would be the original head race for the water wheel flowing down here. Looks like some stone bases for a Pentrough there, possibly either a wooden Pentrough box or a metal one, dropping straight down there. It had been dropping its water onto a rather large water wheel, judging by the size of that wheel pit. And it's great to see that's still there. And that's interesting, the way the cafe is on those concrete kind of foundations down there. The cafe is built on the site of the original mill building. It doesn't look like the cafe has a basement. It's just on those stone pillars, which is very interesting. Yeah, because I always thought it had a hollow sounding wooden floor inside, and that's why, because it doesn't actually touch the ground. Wow. So now I don't need permission to actually get in there, because I'm not sure if there's any way you can actually walk around. Oh, there's some steps over there. It might be possible. I don't know, I think we've got a good view from here. I like the stone arch. It's kind of similar to the one that's at Roscoe Wheel in Rivlin. So what's left of Whiteley Wood Mill? It's been known as various things. It was never called Forge Dam Mill. That's a later term. It was Whiteley Wood. I'm going to see if I can find some pictures of the original mill and possibly the water wheel itself. I'm not sure if there are any, but that's where it would have been. This area here, I think recently in the last certainly in the last 5-10 years, it's been turned into another kind of table and chair area. This was all overgrown a few years ago. So they've spent some money down here. I have actually just climbed over that gate. A bit naughty, but I just wanted a view of the water wheel pit, because that is a hidden feature that you can't really see from here, and I think, you know, maybe there should be more historical awareness of that old wheel pit, because I think that's quite unique. In fact, apart from the one at the Shepherd Wheel, I'm not sure if there are any other surviving wheel pits on the Porter Valley Trail. It's nice to be down here early in the morning when it's so quiet. As I said, it gets so crowded down here later in the day, particularly on a sunny day at the weekend. I don't think I want to be here in a couple of hours. I'm going to go and walk inside the dam again. Don't get this opportunity too often, although it has been increasingly dry in the last few years, but you never know. Heavy rain, a few storms, and it could fill up again. Now, it's had that island in the middle, which is a kind of island that was formed by silt. Originally, I can remember it being very small back in the late 70s, maybe kind of 80% smaller than it is at the moment, but it's gradually just got bigger and bigger, because as I said previously, the river flows directly into this dam. It doesn't go through a sluice, and although they've built silt traps upstream, they haven't been terribly successful, because you've still got absolutely tons of silt here. So if they're going to dredge the whole thing again, I don't know. There was a lot of dredge work going on here a few years back, and some improvements were made. I'm probably walking over now where I used to row boats, and I would be, at this point, I think at least 1.5 meters deep in water. Watch out, it gets a little bit swampy down there. But there's this amazing island. When the dam's full of water, it literally is a proper island. Be a nature paradise in there. Don't actually know if there's any way inside the island. We'll walk round it as far as I can anyway. Oh yeah, we can actually get onto the island. Sort of a, well, it's not really a footpath. So we're on Forge Dam Island. I've got to be careful in here because it could get swampy. Although, no, it's very high above the dam level, so I think we should be alright here. What a great place to come camping. And I wonder if people do. It's a perfect little clearing here. So we're actually in the middle of Forge Dam. 100 years ago, I'd have been underwater. It's like emerging out of the wilderness. I've been lost in there for 100 years. The only way to get to this bit of the exposed dam is to come right through that jungle there, which is not impossible. But now we can walk through this part. I've certainly never been able to do this before. As you can see here, look how dry this part of the dam is. Completely drying out and cracked. They really do need to dredge this again and get rid of all this silt. I'd love to see this restored as a boating lake again, I really would. Had such fun on boats. Mid to late 70s, used to come down here because I didn't live that far away and take boats out. Oh, great fun. Can't imagine it now, can you? Because it's just that massive mound of silt has turned into a jungle. Just can't imagine it. So you can see the top of the dam wall and how high the water could be. So if this dam was actually full, oh look, yep, I'd be up to my nose in water under normal circumstances. And right now with this camera, I'm kind of glad that I'm not. I'm going to make the best of it this morning because I don't know how much longer this dam will be like this, and you can actually walk around the interior of it. It's an amazing experience. I feel like a proper kind of jungle explorer. This could be a lost river somewhere in deepest Africa, but not. It's kind of a almost vanishing dam now in deepest Fulwood.
The yellow